Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. From Fox News. Ratings woes. Meta arrangement put spotlight on corporate siblings. NBC, MSNBC. Nothing but failure. Yeah. Former high-level employees call for accountability. Accountability. Oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. They must have looked up that word in the dictionary. Let's read on, and I'm going to show you some video here, just how big of whack jobs some of these people are. NBC Universal, NBC News, and sister network MSNBC have suffered through a variety of ratings issues, which means they suck, as it prepares for its biggest star to take a reduced workload that is expected to further erode viewership, prompting an insider to question where the accountability is at the media conglomerate. Now, they're talking about Rachel Maddow. She wants to go Monday nights only. And still get the same money, by the way, 7 figures. These people make a ton of money. Now, let's take a listen to some of these morons. It's going to be hard to listen to, but do your best.
Tweeted that they were treating her like a black shopper that they were following through the store. You got to love the Tim Scott standing there to provide the patina of diversity over that round of words. But we don't need to ask ourselves if the international response would be the same if Russia unleashed their horror on a country that wasn't white and largely Christian. If somehow they managed to stumble into the Supreme Court, do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence and Amy Coney Barrett? I have to talk to you about this threat to have you all arrested.
Uncle Clarence, referring to Clarence Thomas, one of the amazing Supreme Court justices of our time. Yeah, she doesn't like him politically. She's progressive left nut bar. It's amazing to me. It truly is. Let's listen on.
When you return to Texas and supposedly to track you down like the Fugitive Slave Act is still in force. A particular kind of freedom and a particular kind of citizenship that only they have. That gives,
Now, they were talking about at the time, the previous one was the Texas state representatives that left the state so they couldn't get a quorum to vote on things and went to Washington, D.C. And they're going to go get them and charge them with a crime, which it was. Make them appear, because that's their job, state legislatures. They didn't have the votes, so they figured, well, we'll just leave. Fugitive Slave Act? You got to be kidding me. Let's listen on.
From the slave catchers on, the right to inflict violence in the name of protecting property. The Democratic Party is a normal political party, right? The Republican Party, as Malcolm has said, is an insurgency. I don't have faith in the Supreme Court. I think they are ideologues.
The Democratic Party is a normal party, and the Republican Party is a party of insurgency. These guys just don't suck. Honestly, they just don't suck. They're nuts. Absolutely bonkers. Lunatics, loco, luna, pick the words you want. Every language has a word for nut bar. Oh my God, let's listen on. I'm sorry to put you through this. I think they are right-wing ideologues. I think they are sort of doing sort of a Christian nationalist version of, whatever it is the Supreme Court used to do. Distraction and sleight of hand is basically what modern Republican politics is all about. It's about selling white grievance and rage. The same rage that produces attacks on Asian Americans and Jewish people and on our capital. Is it more frantic, the attempts to basically engineer an electorate with as few black and brown, Asian American and Native American people in it as possible? They are radical. That's a lie. An absolute lie. Granted, a much higher percent of Hispanic, Indian, and black people live in major cities. That's true. And there are long lines to vote because of the dense population. But you have to make the elections secure and safe and honest. I'm not implying, I can't imply that any other elections weren't. It's fundamental to our republic/democracy that everybody perceives the elections as being fair, free, and fair. That's not a big deal. Keep as many brown and black people from voting as possible is a lie. I live in upstate New York. I've ran in 6 local elections. I was on Binghamton City Council from 2000 to 2007. I was term limited out. As a Democrat back then, mind you, I'm not anymore. I was an election inspector a few times. I've worked on dozens of campaigns. There's about 200,000 odd people in the county. I've never heard of one person ever in this county that had the legal right to vote in this municipality and didn't get a chance to. I've never heard of one. And believe me, if it was true, and there was one or more, it certainly would have made the news. They would have plastered it all over the place here locally. But they didn't. Why? Because it didn't happen. It's a scam.
Radicalizing those people, particularly when they're radicalizing young people. That's how we talk about the way Muslims act. When you see what Donald Trump is doing, is that any different? A solid majority of them who want to enact hyper right-wing, basically a certain type of evangelical rule over us, which is Talibanism, right? This is our sect.
Talibanism. This is our sect. These people are nuts. And we put them in charge of mass media, mainstream media. Let's read on. Rachel Maddow returned this week for a 2-month hiatus that saw her show struggle as replacement host failed to maintain her audience. She's a lot more personable than most, even though she's wacky too. Only to announce she would be scaled back her on-air duties once again. NBC's cash cow, who reportedly earned $30 million annually, told viewers she would only host the Rachel Maddow show on Monday nights, beginning next Monday, despite her massive salary. Must be in her contract she can do that. I told her, you know what, you want to take 1/5 of the workload? We'll give you 1/5 to pay. The other 4 nights of the week will be rotating cast of fill-in hosts. Maddow's announcement left fans disappointed. Oh, let's do the yeah. And forced media critics to admit MSNBC has a problem on its hands. They all have a problem. They're all progressive ideologues. They're all nuts. I used to think at the beginning, when Trump first ran in 2016 and all through his presidency, that these people knew it was BS and they said it anyway for political gain. Now I think it's a lot worse. I think these people actually believe this bullshit. And I'm not even going to mince words. MSNBC may find people who succeed Rachel Maddow, but it's not clear that the network can replace her. Tell her, get rid of her. Fire her some way, somehow, or make her salary much lower, tax her extra money, and hire somebody decent. Even far-left late show host Stephen Colbert, that moron. Remember him and the dancing, remember the shots? The vaccine shots, they were dancing in the background with his little musical skit. The hypodermic needles that were dancing on stage, and another beauty. Expressed disappointment in Maddow's new schedule. Rachel, you're breaking your fans' hearts. Please don't leave us with Lawrence O'Donnell. You know, Stephen Colbert is not a funny guy, but I got to admit that's funny. MSNBC Universal News Group Chairman Cesar Conde, who started the gig in May 2020, is the high-powered executive who paid Maddow and oversees MSNBC, MSNBC, and CNBC. All the same guy. Isn't that nice? He was previously chairman of Telemundo, that piece of crap. It was widely expected to add stability to NBC's Universal's news assets. I like how they put that. After predecessor Andy Lack was caught up in a laundry list of controversies, including a public feud with Ronan Farrow. The network's handling of the Harvey Weinstein reporting. Just like the Joe Biden laptop, Harvey Weinstein reporting, the list is endless. Kennedy has managed to avoid scandalous, legacy-tarnishing headlines that plague lack, but he was found his own set of issues along the way. Cesar Conte should be fired for the embarrassing Maddow deal alone, where she's paid 8 figures to barely work while NBC ratings crater. Today's show ratings are also abysmal, the worst in its history. A former high-level employee of NBC News who is familiar with the company's inner workings told Fox Digital, "I don't like those anonymous sources, but I believe it to be true." MSNBC did not immediately respond for requests for comment. Yeah, okay. Can you give us a call back? We think you guys incredibly suck. We think you're really, really bad. And we think your 3 networks that you run for mainstream news really suck as well. Did you care to comment? During the first quarter of 2022, MSNBC hemorrhaged an alarming portion of its audience compared to its first quarter last year, despite Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which should have brought them way up, and it didn't. Creating an historic news cycle, MSNBC averaged 712,000 viewers, shedding 48% of its audience. There are YouTubers that do better than that. Do better than that. Sorry, that's my phone setting off notifications. Maybe more craziness is going on. We'll see. MSNBC also lost 60% of its audience among the key demographic, and that's the deal. That's the age group the advertisers want. Unbelievable. Averaging only 87,000 compared to over 217,000 last year. You got to be kidding me. Perhaps the most alarming evidence of struggles, I love that, under Conte is MSNBC's issue attracting viewers among the category that pay the bills. Since President Biden took office, MSNBC had flowered in a key demo since Biden's inauguration, averaging only 107,000 viewers to finish. Now listen to this. Behind such networks as MTV, Nickelodeon, A&E, TV Land, maybe they had a rerun of Petticoat Junction that probably beat them out, Hallmark, the Food Network, Adult Swim, and Investigation Discovery. Now Discovery is going to be taking over CNN May 1st. We'll see how that goes. It's not much better during prime time. This is incredible. MSNBC has floundered in a key demo since Biden's inauguration. They finished behind such networks as MTV, like I said, Adult Swim, and Discovery. It's not much better during prime time. Average dismal 184,000 demo viewers since January 21st. The finish behind FX, TLC, and Bravo, despite Maddow, their number one draw, actually working majority of that time. Oh, God. Question the state of MSNBC in a scathing piece pondered if the cable network was put on autopilot as it struggles for relevancy. What is MSNBC's new value proposition in the post-Trump era? The network's slogan is, "This is who we are." Whatever that means. Yeah, we know exactly who you are. Yet it's not clear at all who MSNBC is or even who it is for. Of course we know. It's for the cult members. City urban liberal types. CULT. In the morning, it's Joe Scarborough-run personality-driven political insider breakfast club. By day, it's essentially straight-laced NBC News. By night, it's a soon-to-be Maddow-less smattering of self-righteous academic liberals catering to the AOC wing of the Democrat Party. It's amazing to me. And I read the rest of the article. It's a little bit longer. There's nothing but failure at NBCU News Group. Yet Cesar is allowed to spend his time on the boards of Walmart and Pepsi as he feathers his resume for bigger jobs, said a former NBC employee. Unbelievable. Then they went on to talk about how favorable stories for Walmart and Pepsi. Of course, he's on their board. infighting in NBC. Of course there is. And here's the other beauty. Fox News Digital, that whoever leaked the alleged infighting simply wants people to think MSNBC is a nonpartisan operation, and objecting to Psaki's potential employment is a convenient way to get that message across. It's just, I'm sorry this video's a little long, but I got to tell you honestly, it couldn't happen to a better group. Couldn't happen to a better group. I hope they all crash and burn. Maybe Elon Musk should just let Twitter die. A slow, painful death. Like I've said dozens of times on this channel, they're the dinosaurs, and the asteroid is coming, and none too soon. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.